So the key lesson of today is also a very beautiful one, which is basically the thing that we're practicing. And into his presence will I enter now, something like that. Into his presence would I enter now. And of course I'm not going to start reading the lesson right away. So I'm first going to chapter 28. 28 and then B, section B. Because there's something waiting for us. Oh yeah, the present memory. So there are two parts that I love to read. Oh yeah, so this is just as a reminder, which is great. So on B2, it's on page 255. The present memory. The Holy Spirit can indeed make use of memory, for God Himself is there. But this is not a memory of past events, but only of a present state. It's a memory of a present state. See, that's why looking for your experiences from the past doesn't make any sense. Even if they were spiritual experiences. So now, B2. You are so long accustomed to believe that memory holds only what is past, that it is hard for you to realize it is a skill that can remember now. Memory is a skill that can remember now. Memory is a skill that can remember now. That's where you start to train yourself in fact. So it's like the undoing of the past, we say, but it's more like the undoing of the belief that there's such thing as the past. And basically realizing that it's preventing you from experiencing now. While now is a present state, and you can enter that. It's a skill to enter there. It's a skill that can remember now. The limitation on remembering the world imposes on it are as fast as those you let the world impose on you. But here's the thing. There's no link of memory to the past. There is no link of memory to the past. So you connect the dots as if they have to do with the past, but there is no such thing as a link to the past. If you would have it there, then there it is, but only your desire made the link. So this is another facet of your mind, and that it uses all the power. It's like it uses the power of God to deny the power of God. By saying like, yeah, the past is real. Yeah, the past is real. No, there's a link to the past. In fact, you use the power of your mind to prevent yourself of using the memory as a skill to remember now, the present moment. So it works against one another, and you see that it's so obvious if you get to the place where you remember now, when you become present. In fact, you see that when your brother starts to speak in past terms, or in telling a story about the past, you feel, so anyway, the energy sinks down like to a real low level. That's one thing. But the other thing is, you see that it needs to repeat it, like your brother. Yeah, you need to repeat it to make it true for yourself. And you do that. So you're continuously busy with the past, otherwise it wouldn't exist. You would convert, or you would see that it doesn't exist. So that's why then meditation becomes a great activity, because you decide, okay, I'm gonna stay present now. I'm gonna let go of the past. I'm gonna let go of my thoughts for a moment, and of my concerns and of my ideas about how everything is, just to be present now. So, you come to that place more often and you start to enjoy it. You start to feel like, oh, how great it is to enter into stillness. I can't believe it. So then nothing, say, that is disturbed by that, by letting the past go. Nothing is disturbed by it, because it's really like a not happening. It is a non-occurrence. So you can say that with forgiveness too. It's an forgiveness of what your brother did not do to you. It is over. It's gone. It's not there. There's nothing to forgive in that sense, even though that is the activity that we do. It is the activity that we do, and when we trust our perception, we let go of our perception and say, like, okay, I gotta forgive myself from thinking that is real, because nothing occurred. Didn't do anything against anyone. So there's no link of memory to the past. The memory is a skill to remember now. And now is a state of being, a state of, being free from this past, being free of what you call the occurrences that took place. Or ideas that you hold dear. So anyway, it is not that you're not allowed to talk about the past, no. No, it doesn't matter, but you can be aware, you can become aware that you're doing it. If you do it to let go of it, great. If you do it to confirm its existence, then you're just working against yourself and miss the opportunity to enter into the present moment. But only your desire made the link to the past, and only you have held it to a part of time where guilt appears to linger still. Because in this past there's always something to find for you to attack yourself. It's like, well, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, that's so dumb that I did do that. Oh, no. So you have always something that you can punish yourself with. And see, there's a lot of healing going on in the idea of letting go of what happened before, because you're actually freeing yourself from occurrences that have no existence. And that, why would you want to punish yourself with that? And why would you want to hold on to guilt? Like, guilt can only be in the past of something that you apparently have done. But if there's no link to the past, there's no guilt either. So, in other words, there's no such thing as guilt. How can you be guilty in the present moment? That's impossible, It's impossible. So that's why this little paragraph is full of, good stuff, so to speak, for our transformation. But only your desire made the link, and only you have held it to a part of time where guilt appears to linger still. The Holy Spirit's use of time is apart from time. He does not seek to use it as a means to keep the past, but rather as a way to let it go. He does not seek to use it as a means to keep the past, but rather as a way to let it go. Oh, that's great. That's great. So when we skip over to B5, which is also a great paragraph. Remember nothing that you have taught yourself, for you were badly taught. Remember nothing that you taught yourself, for you were badly taught. Who would keep a senseless lesson in his mind when he can learn and can preserve a better one? When ancient memories of hate appear, remember that their cause is gone, and so you cannot understand what they are for. Let not the cause that you would give them now be what it was that made them what they were, or seemed to be. Be glad that it is gone, for this is what you would be pardoned from, and see instead the new effects of cause accepted now, with consequences here. And see, this is a bit, before this class started we had a bit of a conversation, we had some exchange of experiences, and you see this then, like when you pick up the book, when you pick up the Course in Miracles and you read it for the first time, it can be very overwhelming and beautiful, but also like with a human intellectual mind looking at this, it can be like, oh, that would be interesting to read that, or yeah, I would love to know more about that. And then you see that you have no idea what is going to happen with you when you pick up this book and start to actually do the exercises and start to read it. See, we're so accustomed to cause and effect being separate things, you know, like I do this and then that has an effect tomorrow, or what happened in the past has a cause today. It's because of yesterday that I'm like I am today. That's the reason. You try to separate the two. So, and this is really where the time splitting happens too, when you actually make time. If you think that cause and effect are apart, then you experience it that way too, because that's the way you see it. So, and then in the healing, say, possibility, that you're actually missing it. Because now it is like, if you let those fall into place, like cause and effect are not apart, they are happening in this moment, and you are that, like you are direct cause of God, like God is your source, is your cause, you're the effect, and the union of the two is in this present moment, is there. So then, if I use it to separate and also split time, so split cause and effect, then I live in a dualistic, say, setup. If I let them come together, I let them fall into one instant, it is in fact that I suddenly start to remember now. Suddenly time has collapsed into one moment, which is the present moment, and in that moment there is no time. So you have, it's all kind of physics are starting to come to me in that sense. It's like the moment that you bring that together, there's like an infinite amplitude. You know, it's like the two come together, like two parallel lines actually come together, and they meet in infinity. But they meet in infinity, and so what does that have to do with your experience of the present moment? Everything. Because you basically allow cause and effect to be one. If you do that, then all cause and effect are going to be one. That means you are going to be in an experience of your oneness with your Father, because you're also the effect of your cause. So that sounds a bit scientific if I share it like this, but it's actually great to look at it that way. Just for the temptation in your thinking to think that something has an origin in the past. Well, if it has an origin in the past, the effect would be in the past too, and it can never have an effect now. If you really want to see the effect, you will see it. That's up to you. But if you allow that to collapse, to fall apart in this moment, then you see that there's suddenly a reunion taking place, and a loveliness that comes to you in a way that you cannot describe. And so this was one of the lines that came to me when I was going through the book for just a second. I saw the line, does Jesus have a special place in healing? And you see then, well, Jesus has a special place in healing. Well, it is like, yes, I'm touched by the Christ. Hello, it is nothing to do with any conceptual idea about it. It's an actual occurrence. It is a revelation to me. It is giving me an intense moment of realization, of happiness. So I'm reading a little bit from say chapter 28, and we're continuing with one of the paragraphs. But I see there was suddenly a text, so I'm going to take a look at that. Okay. Do what you have to do. We're here. We're not going anywhere. We're here with you. So coming back to the idea of the present moment in B6, and see the new effects of a cause accepted now, with consequences here. Cause and effect are coming together. In this moment, they will surprise you with their loveliness. The ancient new ideas they bring will be the happy consequences of a cause so ancient that it far exceeds the span of memory that your perception sees. It is the cause the Holy Spirit has remembered for you when you would forget. It is not past, because He let it not be unremembered. It has never changed, because there never was a time in which He did not keep it safely in your mind. Its consequences will indeed seem new, because you thought that you remembered not their cause. Yet was it never absent from your mind, for it was not your Father's will that He be unremembered by His only Son. So it was not your Father's will to separate you, to throw you out of heaven or something like that, like as if an angry God would remove you from heaven. This is still the dream of Adam. So that's the great thing that we discovered in the Bible, and this is by, say, Mary Baker in the Christian Science, Science and Health book. She says this, and which is really great. Like this dream that Adam had, where he was thrown out of paradise, is an actual dream state of Adam. So nowhere in the Bible it is said that he awoke from his dream. So the whole, say, Old Testament is based on the idea of a dream, like Adam fell asleep and he doesn't wake up. So only in the New Testament where Jesus starts to come in and awaken in front of us, so to speak, that remembrance comes from waking up out of this dream of separation. So in your nightmare that you can find yourself, in your nightmare as a human being, thinking that is what life is, you actually discover that in your nightmare it seems like God has thrown you out of paradise, and that can feel that way too. So you feel actually that you did something wrong, something went wrong, and something unforgiven went wrong. And this is the nightmare that you say apply to prevent yourself from remembering who you truly are. So it's like by your will, not by God's will. God never threw you out of heaven. It was just your nightmare. So this is what I actually tried to convey. It's like nobody threw you out of paradise. No, this is your home. This is where you come from. This is where I know you from. So that's really good to know. So there's no sin, there's no guilt, there's no separation. You can dream that. It can be your will that you want to feel separate, and maybe you are not even aware that you think those things, but you can wake up out of it and remember present moment, if you let go of the past, if you let go of an idea that there could be such thing as a nightmare in which you were thrown out of heaven, suddenly you feel yourself returning back to it. And it's not difficult. And it's for everyone. You will come home, you will come home. So it's like your brothers are on the other side of the river screaming at you, come on home. You're the last one, so come on home. We're waiting for you. We're waiting for you. It's not that the whole world is against you and doesn't want you to join in heaven. No, we're all waiting for you to come home. That's why we invite you. It's like, forget about the past. Let go of that. There's only this present moment in which you are reunited with who you truly are, and that is the Son of God. You're whole and perfect as you were created. Okay, so it says more here. So they will surprise you with the loveliness, and when you read that, it is like they will surprise you with their loveliness. Well, yes, indeed. It will be a total surprise how lovely that is, and go there, look for it, look for that experience. So this is also part of the lesson that we actually take a look at today, and this is an essential part of it. So that's why I take some time to look at it. So in lesson 157, into His presence would I enter now. That is in fact what we're practicing, and it is said in a very beautiful way too. So we will read one paragraph of that too, and then I have another prayer. I have so much material to work with. It's amazing. Okay, so I'm reading the heavenly part of it. His presence is what heaven is, right? So today on L3 on page 366 of the Urtext manuscripts, you see this. Today it will be given you to feel a touch of heaven, though you will return to paths of learning. Yet you have come far enough along the way to alter time sufficiently to rise above it, to rise above its laws, and walk into eternity a while. See, this is exactly what we were studying, in fact, in our chapter 28, practicing the present moment. It's like you're able now to adjust time. You can tell yourself, let go of the past. I'm going to become present here, and say, enjoy a moment of eternity, a moment of infinity. It's like, let's get into timelessness for a moment. See, you're able to do this now by being doing the lesson 157. You're going to really do this. It's like, you came far along now to do this. And you will return to paths of learning. It's not that you ascend into heaven and never to be seen again or something. It's like, no. You will return to paths of learning, don't worry. So, yet you have come far enough along the way to alter time sufficiently to rise above its laws and walk into eternity a while. This you will learn to do increasingly as every lesson faithfully rehearsed brings you more swiftly to this holy place and leaves you for a moment to yourself with the capital S. So what happens to my body when I do this? Okay, so on L6 we continue. Your body will be sanctified today, its only purpose being now to bring the vision of what you experience this day to light the world. We cannot give experience like this directly, yet it leaves a vision in your eyes which we can offer everyone, that he may come the sooner to the same experience in which the world is quietly forgot and heaven is remembered for a while. Your body will be sanctified today, its only purpose being now to bring the vision of what you experienced this day to light the world. See, this becomes our practice. So this is your ministry, as it says a little above that too. So, oh yeah, L9 is so beautiful too. I'll do that too, sorry. Into Christ's presence will we enter now, serenely unaware of everything except his shining face and perfect love. The vision of his face will stay with you, but there will be an instant which transcends all vision, even this, the holiest. This you will never teach, for you attained it not through learning. Yet the vision speaks of your remembrance of what you knew that instant and will surely know again. Right. So, to finish this, so to speak, and celebrate a moment of this heavenly infinity, leaving the past for what it is completely and forgetting about all of that, all the concerns and everything that can possibly not stand in the way. So I want to read a miracle prayer to you and then have some moment of quiet. This is a beautiful poetry from the Urtext manuscripts. It's lesson 286 on page 405 of the Urtext. Lesson 286. The hush of heaven holds my heart today. Father, how still today. How quietly do all things fall in place. This is the day that has been chosen as the time in which I come to understand the lesson that there's no need that I do anything. In you is every choice already made. In you has every conflict been resolved. In you is everything I hope to find already given me. Your peace is mine. My heart is quiet and my mind at rest. Your love is heaven, and your love is mine. The stillness of today will give us hope that we have found the way and traveled far along it to a wholly certain goal. Today we will not doubt the end which God Himself has promised us. We trust in Him and in ourself, who still is one with Him. The hush of heaven holds my heart today. So thank you for that, and we will be still for an instant. So thank you for that. Thank you so much.